Alright, y'all. Hello and welcome. Taking a look at things in Europe that just make more sense. I'm ready to learn. Here we go.
Checking out in Europe is so crazy. They don't have any cashiers. All you do is put your stuff in this bin, and then it automatically pops up here. You pay, and then you leave. Like, why do we not have this in America?
It's pretty cool.
Check.
I mean, there's definitely different ways to check out here. There's obviously lots of self-checkout, but it still involves you scanning stuff, right? It's a little slower and clunkier. This is pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Checking out in Europe is so crazy.
Like, it's so interesting, right? It's a big area when she kind of pans out there. Wow. That's pretty neat, though, right? And this looks like a clothing store, so that's like something I wouldn't even expect. That's definitely not a thing in any retail type of stores like that, especially like a clothing store.
Put your stuff.
At least I've never seen that here. Wow, you put it in there, it somehow scans all of it. That's pretty cool. Like, how's it do that? Right? It's just clumped together in there and it still knows what it is. That is really neat. Damn. All right. The country of Europe. Bravo. What? I mean, see? This one's funny. Why are we yelling? Yeah, true. She was a little loud. Because the USA is a third world country with a designer label. That's actually pretty impressive. That's clever. This one, for real though, maybe in some things, like I know there could be someone that could point out like, oh, someone could counter this. Where is it? Right here. Right? I know there's always someone that could be like, well, actually, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, sure. But that's gonna be a lot of things I've learned over the years. Yeah, we do seem like we're way far behind, infrastructure-wise especially. And yeah, lots of other areas. Things in a French supermarket that just make sense here. Oh my God, that's going fast. Huge, what? Huge cheesemonger in every big supermarket. Look at that. That is wild, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, that's something we just severely lack, right? I mean, I think everyone likes cheese usually, right? But like, look at how big cheese can actually be. Look at how many varieties there are. It's kind of mind-blowing. And I have seen cheese displays at certain like supermarkets here. Some put a little effort in, but I mean, this is full on. This is extravagant. I've never seen that crazy. French milk isn't refrigerated. Yeah, we've been through that. It's pretty interesting. Chickens are vaccinated. Okay, gotcha. Canned croissant. Wow. That is, that's different. This is something I've learned over the years through mail time. Okay, getting, very generous, getting mail from people from different countries. Yeah, the chips, right? The flavors are so bizarre. Some of them really interesting, and some of them surprisingly good as well. Look at all these. Yeah, that's something that, oddly enough, we have, tons and tons of chips in America, right? I mean, it's very common in the United States to have chips at a party or as a snack. But we don't, like, they all kind of, like, we might have a lot of brands, but they all kind of follow the same, like, 5 flavors. It's weird. We don't have any kind of outlier stuff like that. Not at all, at least compared to what other countries have. I think that's rather odd. Scented toilet papers. I've never heard of that. What? What? Sugar daddy? What the hell is that? I am so confused. Y'all got to give me some context on some of these. Scented toilet paper, like, I get it, but I don't get it for some reason. Like, I get it, right? Scented, right? To overpower a bad scent, we all know of, okay. But why am I not getting that? I don't know. It's weird. And then this, what is this? I feel like out of the loop here. Things in Italy that just make sense coming from an American. Public bathroom stall. Yeah, I mean, this should be standard. How's that not? What are we doing over here, America, right? These are cool. The actual, classified, very clean and very sorted out recycling and trash containers in pretty much like everywhere. You'll find once in a blue moon like a cool business that actually has something like that here, but it's not the standard, and that's the difference, right? I think it's pretty cool, and it should be the standard here as well. Bidets in 99%, yeah, that's very cool. Almost impossible to find in the U.S. for some reason. Those are sick. Why don't we have those? Warm towel racks are cool too. I would have to use them to really appreciate them and like learn how to use them correctly. And you know, I'm sure they're actually awesome once you experience it. I can't really like, you know what I mean? I don't really get it because we don't have those. So, but it sounds like it could be pretty cool. That's a given. Dominate. Public transportation just dominates ours. It's not even close. Diabolical bread and olive oil. That's not common here. You know, the price of food seems to be pretty impressive. Even eating out. It's one of those wild things where it's like, so food quality just has gone so far down the drain here, and it's expensive, right? Then you find out like eating out in Italy is just, of course, like it's got to be better than here. And come to find out, it's actually cheaper. Damn. I'm jealous. Things in a European museum that just make sense. What? Have these little chairs you can sit on? Wow, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Not many Americans could fit in this. Just saying. This is interesting. Not a thing here as far as I know. And not applicable anyway to many Americans. Okay. Things that escalator etiquette, stand on the right and walk on the left. See? Okay, now I'm aware of this. I feel like this is probably more of like a worldwide standard, but kind of like highway etiquette, kind of like driving etiquette overall. And you could apply this to many things, but that comes to mind. Unfortunately, most Americans don't get it. So, you know, driving should be better here, but it's not because there's just so many bad drivers. There's so many drivers that don't know proper etiquette, and it just kind of ruins it can hinder your experience out on the road. Same with this, escalators. I'm sure many Americans and people here could grasp this, but unfortunately, there's too many that don't and never will bother to, and so you don't get this good result where you have people standing on the right and you have room to walk on the left. How it usually goes here is people are standing everywhere and someone's trying to weave in between if they are in a hurry and want to walk up the escalator. so you get a lot of very awkward interactions, and it could be a lot smoother if people just followed this etiquette.
These are things in Spain that just make sense. Numero uno, light switches by the bed.
That's so cool. Get it when you're in a comfy position. Yo, that's so cool. That is so freaking cool. You know how many times you get tucked in and then someone says like, wait, can you turn the light on? Or who has a conversation, you have multiple people in the room, like who's going to have to go turn the light off when you finally settle down and are ready to go to sleep and someone's got to turn the lights out. That sucks when you got to be the one to get up when you're all comfy and you're all cozy. Having it right there in the bed, that solves everything. I love it.
The shower. Here's the temperature knob and here's the water pressure knob. So you can always keep it on the temperature you like best.
That's smart.
Trays, light switches. There on the outside of the room you want to go into. Just like that.
That one's not a huge deal, but I find it interesting. I think it'd be cool for like kids who are afraid of the dark. They can kind of hit that first. And you know what I mean? Like there's benefits to it. There's also, I could see also being annoying to some people. It just kind of depends. This one, like I said, we're way behind, like clunky when it comes to shower stuff.
Numero 5. If you don't want to buy this whole thing, you can just rip one out and buy it because they have unit sales.
See, that's cool. That's been explained in other videos. And I got to try this at a European store. It's pretty cool here in the US. But this is a better explanation how you can buy the whole thing or you can rip one out, and it actually shows the price of either. No one else has pointed that out in videos, so that's actually pretty cool. How it shows a unit price, single unit, and of course,
have unit sales.
That's pretty neat.
Metro systems are so insane.
Numero 7. This is the Sangria family. The architecture makes a lot of sense in this.
Sangria family? What? I'm not a native Spanish speaker, but even I know that's Sagrada Familia, you know? And even that's not great, but it's better than what he just said.
Número 8. The prices. These American Takis are probably like $2, and this is €1.
Yeah, things like, that's what I mean. Things are just cheaper over there. It's kind of crazy, right? Honestly, that would, these days, I don't know when this is filmed, that Takis bag here would probably be like $3.50 where I'm at a convenience store or a fuel station. In my fiance's Russian home, that just makes sense. There's 2 padded front doors to keep the cold out. That is so interesting. Whoa. What? That is crazy. That is, what is going on? It's kind of cool. It's like a lot going on, but it's fun, right? Oh, wow. What the hell? Look at, like, it's so artsy. Like, there's so much color going on. It's pretty freaking cool, actually. Giant picture of a beach, and you're in what looked to be a very cold day in Russia there. That's hilarious. Yo, that is hella realistic. That's fake? I thought this guy's crazy, but it's... That is really neat. How was it that realistic looking? Wow. Yeah, we used to have wallpaper in the US like a long, long time ago. It's so out of style now, at least as far as I know. Outside view is beautiful. Yeah, that's subjective. I mean, not the best, but I mean, to each their own. It probably looks better when it's a little warmer out, maybe, perhaps. The inside of the house is cool, so that's kind of all that matters. So jealous of that, right? Like Northern European countries. You know, I've seen this right here, Russian house. I've seen this in like Finnish homes, Norway, right? Like, it's so cool. The saunas is like standard, even in apartments and stuff. I think that's freaking awesome, dude. Super jealous of that. Yeah, very cool. That was an interesting house. Wow. I think this comment sums it up. Russian interior design is a world on its own. Yeah, I guess so.
I swear, when I saw a baby get born, the baby literally had a bottle in his hand. Y'all been drinking since you were 16 because you can actually go to the bar in Germany when you're 16 years old. In the United States, we don't drink typically in a bar until you're 21. The other day, I was at the bar minding my own business, right? And somebody comes over and they start talking to me. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And I'm like, you look kind of young. How old are you? This motherfucker gonna say, oh, I'm so old. I'm 17. Because I'm an American, my reaction was to punch him. Because it just didn't click in my brain that you can be that young. In these European streets, they be drinking at 10 years old.
Yeah, drinking culture is so different. I wonder, like, how it affects things. The fact that most European countries, like, people just drink so much earlier legally than you can in the U.S. I wonder if it ends up... People kind of get it out of their system and they don't drink heavy into their 20s and 30s, like maybe some Americans might, right? Because they had to wait so long. Or it might create scenarios where they don't, you know, because of course, a lot of Americans will drink, you know, illegally. Like they'll find ways to drink before they're 21. And it's, you know, very taboo and very dangerous or whatever, right? And maybe it can create some kind of dumb scenarios, dumb decisions, right? Because it's so forbidden and they don't know how to handle alcohol. They don't know how to drink it, right? What to drink. I wonder if like that kind of thing sorts out better when you're just allowed to drink it younger and people kind of maybe guide you more because you are young still, like 16, 17. People maybe like teach you better, like how to drink and what to drink. I don't know. I'm kind of just talking here, but I wonder if that's like a better correlation, like drinking early. I do think it's weird that ours is 21 and like so much of the world is much younger than that. Y'all start drinking at 21. I stopped heavy drinking at 21. So that's what I'm saying, right? By the time they're in their 20s, they've been through it. They kind of know they either don't drink anymore or they know what to drink and they don't get smashed, you know, like all the time, which is obviously better to not be doing that a lot. 16, we started at 12, 13. Yeah, you guys are on another level, that's for sure. In Europe, we start drinking at 12 or 13. We retire from drinking at 19 or 21. Yo. Netherlands, locking the front door from the inside, eggs on the shelf, paying for sauces. Wait, how's that make sense? What's she mean by that? That's, first of all, it's cool. You have different sauces. Frites sauce? What is that? Paying for sauce? I'm a little confused. First, I don't know how that would make more sense, paying for sauces. I mean, it'd be cool if they were free, right? But even here, you get like a sauce or two, depending on the restaurant, for free. Then you can pay for more. It just depends. So I don't know how that's different or better or what. Oh, hold on. These are go fast. Switzerland. Oh, that's cool. Cheese with every meal. Wow, you can give like smiley face reviews on how clean something is. That's pretty interesting and cool, actually. Look at that. Wow. Look at that elevator. Yo. That is so, like, so tight. I'd be a little freaked out in that, not gonna lie. It would be cool, but it'd be, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Y'all can have it. I'm gonna cut it there, man. There's a lot of these. I kind of want to make this a little shorter than some of the videos we've been doing lately. And if this does well, of course, we can do more of this because I think there's pretty much endless things. Let's get real. That just makes sense in Europe versus the US, that's for sure. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope your weekend and week, actually, I hope your week has started out in a great way. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. That's all. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.